It's a great sunny day, great cloudy sunny day to be walking right now. And what am I doing? I'm not walking to a particular destination. I'm just walking around. And you might ask, why are you just walking around? You have nobody, or people just, if people just look at you, they look at you funny, like, where are you going? You don't need to have a destination. What I'm here for is to look for stuff that I don't know and learn from that. For example, the past couple days, there was potential to be raining, but it never rained. So why did it rain? Or those days, I did carry a raincoat and an umbrella just in case. So why do I do that? Do I have to prepare more than some others who take the risks? And then if you go down the rabbit hole, you can delve into very deep questions. Like one time, I got into the question of, why do you exist? Why do we exist? What is the future of technology in this world? Questions like that to stimulate your brain. When you want to relax, it's not the greatest thing, but for me, it's very fascinating, and it gets you to think more. So why am I saying this? That I'm just walking around. Maybe you're lost. Maybe you're in a dark place. Maybe you're alone without purpose, with nobody to help you. Well, there's a difference between a life without purpose and just walking without purpose. Walking without purpose is walking around and finding something that will stimulate your brain to think, to process your memory, to make things that seem insignificant more significant. When you try to find things consciously that get your brain thinking, it helps with social skills, it helps with your thought processing, and it helps with finding your purpose in life, and your purpose in life is what you want to leave in the world by the time you're 80 or 90. What do you want to do in your life that when it comes time, you look back and you said, oh, I had a good life. But there's some people, you might not have a purpose in life yet. Maybe you're just doing the things in your life just to do them. But when you think about why, you have to think about why for everything. Even the smallest things. Because when you ask questions, you get the answers, and that answers are information that are put in your brain. Knowledge and information are the most powerful things a person can obtain, and the human race is very fortunate to be a species that could process information and take in information and encode it into memory and recite that to others. So when you walk around with no purpose, you find your life purpose. Well, now you're saying, how do you put that purpose into fruition? Well, there are many steps that you have to take. It's not just a single step that you can do, but it's very applicable. Anybody can do this. Anybody can take what their life purpose is and put it into action and be the best person you can be. The first step is to know what you need to improve. And when you're walking and you're finding your purpose in life, you acknowledge that. You have to acknowledge that there are things you can improve. You are not perfect. Nobody will ever be perfect. If one is actually perfect, they're probably delusional, they claim. So, everybody has areas which they can improve as a person. You have to acknowledge those and acknowledge those flaws in a deeper sense. Like, be more specific in what you have to improve on. The second step, after you acknowledge your flaw, you know that you need to improve. Now it's time to put that into fruition. And the best way to do that is to first plan it. Like, make a planner or a calendar or a to-do list. And then first thing, on the top of every page, put your life purpose on the top. This way you get reminded of it every single day. If you're doing like a to-do list or something, if you come back to that planner or calendar, you'll find your life purpose like on the top of every page. And that will keep you motivated. It's like, I have this goal, and here's what I have to do to complete it. And then when you make your to-do list, make like tasks that are easy. Tasks that seem routine, that, why do I have to write this down on a to-do list? But ultimately, even checking those boxes gives you a reason to keep moving forward. And then when you keep, no matter how small it is, once you keep checking those boxes, you can start to get greater and greater goals. And there's this stigma that large goals are not suggested. Like, you shouldn't have a large goal in your life, just smaller goals. And while I see the reasoning about that, making it manageable and something tangible that you actually do, having that large goal gives you a bigger perspective on, and it gives you more reason to continue doing what you're doing. Because if you keep having these small tasks, after a while they seem routine, and then you're back to questioning, why are you doing all this stuff? And then if you circle around, and then you'll circle back to where we started. But if you have that big goal, like the purpose I have at the top, and then like this ultimate, like, let's say academic goal, or social goal, or just personal goal, you find more reasons to keep going. And then the final step, so you found your purpose, you acknowledge that you can improve, you have things that you need to work on, and then you put a plan to that. And then the last step is to put it into action. Just actually do the things that you have to do. And of course, that's easier said than done. I mean, everybody's in that step, either on, or there's no completing that step officially. It's a continuous process that you have to reach throughout your course of your life. Everything you do, you have to progress towards it. It's called an infinite goal for a reason. And infinite goals are great motivators. And during that process, you have to know that there are times where you're going to fail. There are days where it's not going to be the best day. And rather than blaming on everybody else, you have to put it on yourself. Back to the point where there are things you can improve. You have to get to the point where you are independent. You are in control of your own life. Ultimately, the harsh truth is that nobody's going to help you. Only you know yourself the best. And only you know how to fix your own flaws. You could tell it to somebody else, but they are influenced by their experience of life, and you are influenced by your experience of life. Ultimately, you have to be to a point where you're not depending on anybody else. You do what you do on your own, and you can be a human being that can stand on your own, stand their ground, without needing to hide behind somebody else. Again, there's going to be times where you're going to fail, but that's just a learning experience. We are not perfect once again. And as long as you find your purpose and reach that ultimate goal you want to achieve in life, it doesn't matter how you get there. It's just that you get there at the end. And this will be something you have to achieve throughout your whole life. It's a never-ending journey, and that's what it's all about. So when you walk without purpose, I'm just walking around. You can find your life purpose, and you can turn this around. You can turn a meaningless life into a life worth living, and that you are worth taking care of yourself. You are a person worth taking care of. So I reached my destination. So what's your destination? Where are you gonna go?